Okay, let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you?
Check his web browser history.
You know exactly what he meant when he asked that question. Don't fucking play obtuse. I knew you were going to do that. I knew there were going to be women like you who do this. Why do you fucking freaks insist on immediately trying to make that kind of implication when a man is questioning a single mother on why he would want to be in a relationship with her? A single man with no kids. If he wanted to have access to her kids, he would not be asking her why he would want to date her in the first place, or why should he date her in the first place. He would date her. He would date her. He would get close to her to have access to the kids. He would not be asking these questions in the first place. Y'all look dumb when you make these stupid, borderline slanderous insinuations like that.
Let me ask you this. How are your kids are going to be an asset to me if I was dating you?
I would never date a man that ever asked me no craziness like that.
See,
I would.
That man was basically saying that there was no benefit to dating and being in a committed relationship with someone who already has children, and even especially not by marriage, if they were never married, especially if they have multiple children, especially if they have multiple other partners. Being a step-parent is a rewardless job. But because he phrased the question in such a questionable manner, you decided to avoid the question altogether by implying that he was being inappropriate with children, because you didn't want to answer the question.
I'm gonna tell you right now, any man that's gonna ask you a question like that thinks that he's doing you a favor by dating you as a single parent, and you should be grateful. And that's how he's going to treat you and your children, as if y'all should be grateful that he is willing to tolerate you and your offsprings. Okay, I would never what can your children, what benefit are your children to me? What the like honestly, what kind of question is that even? And what woman? What as a woman, any woman who thinks that this is an acceptable question, I want to know what answer would you give someone that asks you that? Because to me, now I automatically know my children are not safe in your presence, and I would never allow my children to be around you. I would I would never bring anyone into my home that feels like, well, if I'm going to date you, what benefit are your children to me? To you? What the fuck? What do you mean by that? Like, I really can't wrap my mind around it because it just doesn't make sense. Like, what do you mean? What benefit are they to you? What benefit are you to them? What benefit is me bringing you into our lives are you going to have for them? It's one thing to say what benefit is the woman that you're dating to you. You know what I'm saying? But to say what benefit are your children to me is very fucking weird and very fucking creepy. Men are getting creepier and fucking creepier, and I can't take it. I cannot.
Again, girl, who do you think you're fooling? Hiding behind Candace Owens' boxy-ass head? Seriously. Deflect, shame, insult. It's like cookie-cutter strategy for avoiding any type of honest conversations. Like, you can't handle it. Are you really that self-centered that you can't even recognize from this man's point of view, like, how dating a single mother would impact his life? Or do you just not give a fuck and you want someone to help you? But anyways, I digress. Y'all be the same type of women that will praise women, or specifically single mothers, that don't want to date single fathers or men that have children under any circumstances. You will praise that, and you will understand the complexities of the dynamics of that relationship. But you will shame a man if he does not want to date a single mother. One of the million double standards we have right now is just like... And let me also just be more clear for the men that do date single mothers. Like, I just want you to know this. If you have no serious intentions of being in a committed relationship with a single mother, especially if that single mother has made it clear that they want a serious relationship, leave those single mothers alone. They don't need to deal with more bullshit in their already complicated situations, especially when a lot of them are dealing with a lot of internalized issues and trying to heal from whatever situation they come from, and they finally open up and start going into the date scene because they have to be a lot more careful. They do not need to deal with guys that claim that they want to be serious but are really just fucking around. But for you men who do that stuff, cut that shit out. Now, if that single mother just wants to have casual relationships, that's between the two of you. That's one thing. But if she's serious and you're not serious, leave her behind. And for the single mothers that seriously sit there and act so baffled that the majority of single, childless men do not want to date women with children. Like, why are you sitting here and acting like you deserve the best of the best type of man, especially that kind of man that you want, when you know that they do not want to deal with the complexities and the additional, basically, it's going to sound harsh, but it's the truth for a lot. People see people with children who are not married or who got divorced or any of that nature. They see that as baggage in a relationship. Like, you having children is a baggage for a lot of people, men and women alike. Because childless men and childless women are allowed to not want to date someone that has already had a child. They're allowed that. It's a preference. But of course, men with standards and preferences would be bad for you because it means that you would have less options. Of course. Because even when you have kids, you're still the prize. Am I right?